Hi everyone, I am Riccardo Chiarion and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I would like to share with you a new tip talking about harmony, and I will talk about triads in the turnaround 2, 5, 1, 6 in C major. So I will only use triads, and this is a way to look for some connections between notes and try to understand how can we build some melodies using arpeggios, so using notes from chords, but in an intelligent way, so just using some connections and closed notes. Well, starting from D minor, it's really important, of course, to know each note for each chord. Starting from D minor, I will play D, F, and A, D, F, and A. Root, minor third, and perfect fifth. On G7, I will play G, B, and D, root, major third, and perfect fifth. On C major, I will play C, E, and G, root, major third, and perfect fifth. And on A minor, I will play A, C, and E, root, minor third, and perfect fifth. But I will do this using inversions. Inversions are just the same notes for each chord, but played in a different order. And we can have just two inversions, for each triad, because we have, for example, for C major, we have the root position, C, E, G. Then, if I move the lowest note an octave higher, I can have E, G, and C on top. This is the first inversion, so I will have the third as bottom note. And then I can move the third an octave higher, and I will have G, C, and E. This is the second inversion. So, for a triad, I have root position when the root is the lowest note, then I got the first inversion when the third is the lowest note, and I got the second inversion when the fifth is the lowest note. Well, we will use these inversions for each chord of this turnaround. So, starting from D minor, the second degree of the major scale, the chord built on the second degree, I will have D, F, and A. Now, I know that I will have to go to G major, the fifth chord, the chord built on the fifth degree of the major scale. And I'm looking for the connections, the common tones. This is the technique of common tones. And as we know, the D note is the note in common between these two chords. So I will play G major, but trying to play the D note in the same place where I'm playing it to play D minor. So in this situation I have the D note as the lowest note because I'm playing the root position for D minor. So D is the lowest note, and I play for G major the second inversion, D, G, and B. So, from D minor, D, F, A, I go to G major, D, G, B, second inversion. And then I go to C major, but I have to find the right inversion. And if I watch at G major, I have the G note, which is in common with the C major, as middle note. So G is in between. And I have to play E, G, C, first inversion for C major. Remember that if you get confused listening to this lesson, you can go to my blog. I put a link here in the description under the video, and you can go to my blog, and there I post some tablatures and musical notation to read and understand deeply these arguments. So I am now on C major, and to go to A minor I have two common tones, because E is the third for C major, but it's the perfect fifth for A minor. And C is the root for C major, but it's the flat third, the minor third for A minor. So these two notes are common tones, while G will go up to A, the root of A minor. And this is the position that I find. E, A, C. This is a second inversion for A minor. Well, so D minor in a root position, D, F, A. G major as a second inversion, D, G, B. C major as a first inversion, E, G, C. And then A minor as a second inversion, E, A, C. Well, this is how it works if we start from D minor as a root position. But if I start from the first inversion for D minor, I always have to keep the common tones in that place where I'm playing them. And I will go from D minor first inversion to C major root position, because the D note is on top. And from G major, I will go to C major as a second inversion. And then from C major, I will go to A minor as a root position. So this is it. Well, if I start from D minor as a second inversion, so with the fifth as a lowest note, then I will go to G major as a first inversion, B, D, G, and then I will go to C major as a root position, C, E, G, and to A minor as a first inversion, C, E, A. Well, all of these notes are really important to connect some melodies while we play improvisations. So it's important to understand that if we use something natural as the common note technique also during our improvisation, we can build something that will sound good to our ears and to the ears of the audience, because we are using something natural which has been used for a long time in the history of music. So a lot of the melodies that we already know by ear are built using this kind of techniques. And if we use these techniques also in our improvisations, something starts to sound natural, sound good. Okay, so this is the starting point. Now I would like to add something to this. And the point is, what can we do with the notes that we have in between? For example, when we go from D minor playing the F note, the minor third, to G major, we have a whole tone between these two notes. But can we use in some way the note in between, F sharp? Well, it's not in the major scale, in the C major scale, but we can figure out a solution to use it anyway. And I will show it for you. If I play D minor, D, F, A, and I rise F and A, I find out a different triad. This triad is an D-augmented triad. Well, of course it's not in the C major scale, but we can use those notes as chromatic passing tones sometime. And I suggest you to try to figure out some solutions to use this stuff. In the beginning, just listen to it, and then try to use it as passing tones, means as something not played in a really strong way maybe, but used as a color, just a passing color, passing tone, okay? So, from D minor, I go to D augmented. And in this way, now, to go to G major, I will have one note, one common tone, always the D note, of course, and the other two notes will go up always chromatically, and they will become G and B. So I have this movement between D minor and G major. Okay, these two notes, chromatic notes, can be used in some way. Now, if I go from G major to E major, from the 5th degree of the major scale to the 1st degree of the major scale, two notes, one note is a common tone, G. B goes up to C, so the 3rd of G major will become the root of C major. But the D note, that is the 5th for G major, will go up to E, and this is a whole tone. So I can play a note in between, D sharp. So from G major, I rise the D note, and it becomes a G augmented triad. And then it goes to C major, first inversion in this case. So from the beginning, D minor, D augmented, G major, G augmented, C major. And now, if as I told before, the two common notes, common tones are E and C, but in between I have a G going to A, from C major to A minor. So G going to A is a whole tone, and I can play a G sharp in between. So I play E, G sharp and C. And this is the C augmented triad or the E augmented triad, which are the same because they have the same notes. If I think to the C augmented triad, it has C, E and G sharp. And if I think to the E augmented triad, it has E, G sharp and B sharp, which is C. So they have the same notes. Well, so all of these chords are D minor, D augmented, G major, G augmented, C major, C augmented, A minor. And how can I go to D minor now? It's easy, because we have one common tone, A, and then we have E going up to F, and C going up to D, because we go from A minor to D minor in first inversion now. And to do this, I can play in between one augmented triad, A augmented triad, and then go to D minor. In this way, I'm doing something a little bit different from the other triads, because I'm rising the E note, going up to E sharp or F, as sharp 5 for A major, but it already is the minor third for D minor. So from A minor I go up to A augmented, and then I go to D minor. So if you think at this, we are playing now all of the chromatics notes from our guitar. D minor one more time, D augmented, G major, G augmented, C major, C augmented, A minor, A augmented, A minor, D minor, sorry, D augmented, G major, G augmented, and C major. As you can see, we can go on playing these inversions always, and we are playing all of the chromatic notes, so it's a good way also to study notes on guitar in some way. But it really helps us in knowing some chromatic passing tones, and also we learn how to use common tones. So this is the tip for today. I hope you would like it, and if you want to share, like and subscribe, I will be very happy to have you together with me in this experience. I'm trying to do something good with my etudes and with these little tips. I hope you like it. So stay tuned and see you next tip. Bye.